Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to use cocoa butter on a bearded dragon. You might ask, why would you need to use cocoa butter on a bearded dragon? Sometimes beardies can have damage to their skin, either from an injury they've inflicted or been inflicted an injury from another animal, or maybe they've got some skin growth issue or even issues from shedding, and they need lotion. And they don't make lotion for beardies generally, and you don't want to use human lotion on a beardie because there's probably other chemicals in there and such that are good for us but not necessarily good for their skin. I did a little research online and found that natural cocoa butter, 100% natural cocoa butter, is probably the best thing you can use for their skin. And for Lenny, as an alternative for her eyes, because her eyes tend to dry out some, and we have used artificial tears from the vet, which do a pretty good job. But I was also noticing she was having a lot of dry skin issues because she does have a lot of moisture buildup in her eyes, and so her skin tends to peel some there, a little more than when she's shedding. And we wanted something to give her skin some more elasticity, and so we started using natural cocoa butter for that. So I just wanted to make a video on putting that on your dragon because it's for me, it wasn't the most intuitive when we first got it, and I just want to make sure that you see how it's done. So natural cocoa butter, you can find this probably at either African stores or nature stores. This one is a Natural Farms one we had actually gotten on Amazon because we were having some problems sourcing it locally. I wouldn't say it's cheap, but you get, this is maybe about 2/3 of the bag. You get quite a bit of cocoa butter. It lasts for quite a while. And this is 100% natural, so you could actually use it in baking as well as for skincare. It's very good for human skin as well. I actually use it on my hands sometimes and on my face and such, and it does a really nice job. It has a really great smell to it as well. But for beardies especially, they need it for their skin. So the one detractor to using it on a dragon is she is a cold-blooded animal. And in order to melt this butter, you need body heat. So this is where you get to do some symbiotic stuff with your dragon. So for her eyes alone, she doesn't need a lot. So here we have a chunk here. I'm going to break off just a little tip of it. That's probably plenty. You can see that in my fingertips here. That's probably plenty to do her eyes. And what you're going to do is take it in between your fingertips as she wanders around. Very active today. You're going to take it in your fingertips and just melt it basically. I've tried doing this with a Q-tip and it's just way easier to keep it melted, to keep it on your fingertips effectively and do it with your fingers. And so once you get some on your fingers, you're just going to gently rub it on her eyes. And again, eyes are very sensitive, so you want to be careful. And even here in her bad area, we're going to put a little there just to try to keep the skin moist. And we'll do some on the other eye here. Right there. Just to add some moisture there so that her skin doesn't break on her as she does kind of natural beardy stuff, contracting her eye and expanding it during the course of the day. And you can put it on the back of her skin and stuff because you'll probably have a little extra there. You can wipe it into your hands. It's good for you too. And so that is how you can put some cocoa butter on your bearded dragon. Okay, the last portion of our video today is going to be eye care for our bearded dragon. This is especially important for our beardie because she does have some eye issues. You can kind of see that normally a bearded dragon's tear ducts would be a lot smaller than this, but you know, Lenny's had some eye injury here. She's got a lesion here that looks like needs to be removed, and we're trying to find a surgeon for. But at the moment, this is the best we can do. You can see her other eye here, which tends to be generally healthier right now. It's just it's a little sore, so we definitely want to put some extra coverage on there because her skin, because she tends to have her eye puffed out more, which is a natural thing for beardies, but for her it tends to be a little more involuntary. She needs some extra liquid on there, extra moisture to keep the skin moist so that it doesn't tear and she doesn't have injury. So we were prescribed some artificial tears from our veterinarian. Again, this is not something you can get over the counter. You might be able to find it online, but typically this is prescription only. And if you follow the directions, it tells you to put about a 1/4 inch of it on like a Q-tip or something. I tend to use a little bit more simply because normally they tell you to put it kind of on the lower eyelid, but I'm going to put kind of around her other skin here as well, just to protect that area, to give it some more moisture so that it retains that, so her skin retains elasticity a bit. As you can see, we're about ready for a refill on this prescription. So I'm going to put it on the Q-tip. Bearded dragon's eyes are probably one of the more sensitive areas, as they are with all creatures. So you just want to be careful. And you're going to see she's not going to be too happy about it once I get too far into it. So you just want to be as gentle as you can. And you can see that she's kind of not happy about it at this point. I'm going to kind of come up here. And there, she's going to try to swat it off a bit. I'm going to put some more on and get her other eye now. Let's just turn her around here. So again, I'm going to get some on the lower lid and then some on the upper here. And she's not too happy about it. Get those buggies away from my eyes. What are you doing to me? Yeah, just got to get through it a bit. There we go. And so she's got some moisture on her eyes. And that should help with any skin issues for a little bit at least. And there you go. How to bathe your bearded dragon and clean out their tank.